Deep suspense. I know.
Chase, any plans for extracurricular racing during the off season of the Chili Bowl coming up and
Yeah.
Coach Pensacola and all that this weekend? A lot to do during the off season, and will we see you in the Xfinity or Truck Series races next year?
Yeah, I don't have any plans to run anything through the winter, but you never know. Something might come up, but as of right now, I don't have any plans to. And I know the boss has been tossing around talking about the Xfinity stuff for next year. So I know he did a few races with Hendrick cars this past year. So might maybe get in on that if the opportunity's there. But outside of doing maybe one, I don't think it'll be much more than that if at all.
Have you looked into the Garage 56 stuff at all? Is that
I, I
forward into that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a cool initiative, and I think it'll get a lot of traction just doing something a little different. But from a driver's perspective, with no one being in the class, that kind of turns me away personally, just because I want to compete and try to have a benchmark and have somebody to race would be kind of my thing with it.
How do you look back on this year? You guys had a lot of wins. You made another run at the title. Just how do
Yeah.
you look at it overall?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a solid year, especially through the summer months. I mean, that was probably as good as I ever remember running throughout the summer. Unfortunately, the last 9 or 10 weren't great. I actually thought Phoenix was pretty solid for us as far as just how our car drove and the way the day was going. So the 9 weeks prior to that were pretty rough. I thought the 10th was moving in the right direction, which was good. So, yeah, nice to kind of end on a high note from a car perspective and just a balance side of things.
Were you surprised how up and down your playoff was? I mean, you were the regular season champ.
Yeah.
You guys were pretty consistent for those.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not necessarily surprised. I mean, this sport will humble you in a hurry. So, I mean, I don't think anyone's ever immune to that, and especially now with kind of the way everything works and with all the winners and things that we saw this year. I don't think you're immune to that, regardless of how good of a season you've had, to that point. So, just you gotta stay on it, and it's easy to miss a little bit here or there and have a bad day.
Speaking of Phoenix, after the season, really haven't seen much. Curious if you looked at it. Do you have any other thoughts about that footage?
No, I mean it is what it is at this point, right? There's nothing I can do about it. Unfortunately, our car, it bent toe links and things like it typically does when you hit the wall a little bit. So didn't hit the wall very hard, but unfortunately it was enough to kind of keep us out of it. There was enough time if we hadn't had damage where you could have maybe got back in there and potentially had a fight if you did a really good job. But the damage, there was just no way we were going to fix it and get back up through there in that short period of time.
Yeah, I mean, it's track position race,
Yeah.
obviously. So do you feel like you made the moves you needed to make there?
I mean, no, it didn't. It wasn't really a move. I wasn't throwing a block at all. Never really crossed my mind. Was just really trying to get to the end of the race. I wasn't trying to make any wild maneuvers at that point. Was just trying to get our team to the end and try to get to that last pit stop and have a shot. And that was really where my head was at. It was not on my end. It was not a crazy block or anything that was super aggressive. I didn't even think about it, to be honest.
You talked about kind of resetting. Are you enjoying the off season? Are you looking forward to getting out of here and then kind of just relaxing for it?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is still a busy part of the year for us. We have photo shoots and things to, if partners have a new paint scheme or something going into the next year, this is the time of year we have to get it done because the off season's so short. We got to have all that stuff ready to go by now the end of January, first week of February. So yeah, it goes by quick, but nice to get some of that stuff done. Obviously, this week is good, and then next week we'll be pretty busy, and then after that be able to go home and enjoy the holidays and Christmas and New Year and all that good stuff.
Chase, after a race, drivers talk about it takes a day or two for you to start to feel back 100%. Does your body need some just total off time from workouts and racing and all that at the end of the year to kind of get back to what it needs?
Yeah, I mean, I think from a physicality standpoint, you could race more and and be okay if you were eating right and doing the right things. I feel, but I do think it's just probably more from a mental standpoint, kind of nice to enjoy some time at home. But when we're so used to being on the road so often, even with as short as the off season is, I feel like by the middle of January, I'm like, all right, I would like to go do something now. So I feel like we're probably not. I don't think anybody in this room is immune to that because we're all pretty used to being gone. But enjoy the time at home. But I'll be ready to go again, probably sooner than later.
Wait till you're married someday and your wife said, "Aren't you supposed to like go to a race or something?"
Right, exactly. Makes you feel good, I'm sure.
Are you doing any off-season racing,
No,
triple, Rolex, or anything?
no plans.
Is that
No.
by choice, or is that as much not the right situation came through for you?
A little bit of both, I guess. I mean, I haven't really had a ton of interest this winter in doing anything. I just wanted to enjoy some time at home. Maybe you'd go on a trip or something. So yeah, that was kind of where my head was at going into it.